just a little bit of setup here. I want to work with the text tool, and I know this sounds a little bit unique because I have paths on the line. So I took the pen tool and I made a squiggly path. Also took the pen tool to make a closed out shape. I took a regular rectangle tool to make a box and an ellipse tool to make the circle. So I can show you some text tool things. I also may be interested in having the character panel open because I am working with text. And this, once I'm typing text, often pops up though in the properties box. So I just opened it up just for some setup. But we know how to use the type tool. I click on the type tool, I click, and once I have the text in there, I can select it and I can change it to whatever font I want it to be. I can change it to whatever size I want it to be. And I'm using a mouse wheel to do this. I also can change the letters and spread them out. This is called tracking. So the letters are a little bit closer together. So I can adjust the text within this character box. So that's basic text, and that was learned in another tutorial. I'm more interested in how can I have text follow the shape that I have. So in this case, I'm going to hit type on a path tool. So once I have that type on a path tool selected, of course the button changes, and if I move my mouse towards this path, now this is just a line, I can click on it and then I can type whatever I want it to say. And once I have that there, my text there, I can change it to whatever size I want it to be. And then if that's the size I want it to be, I might want to spread it out a little bit along the line or tether it together a little bit. So I'm using my mouse wheel in this tracking button to bring that back and forth. The other thing you can do is if I click on the black arrow now, I have some things I can do. There's this line that's here, and I can position it maybe a little bit better in my circle. I can maybe round it up. It is a little picky, but the other thing you can see is there's like a beginning and an end, and I can also move these lines as well, which can change where the direction of my object as well. So you can adjust where the text is. Some other things you can do, this line here in the middle, I'm going to take this line, my mouse cursor, you can change, it turns into like an arrow with a line. I can click on it and hold, and I can drag it to the inside of the line. So it's on above the line here, and now it's on the inside of the line too. So I can bring it down to the bottom of the line. So that's a little bit about using the type on a path tool. I can also do area type tool. So what that is if I click on, again, I want to always use that path line. As soon as I see that little word pink path, I can click and then I can type whatever I want to type, and it fills in the shape, the path that I've selected. I'm not being too picky about what I type here, so I might have some errors. I can select it, I can change the size of it so that it fills in there better. I can type in more content. I can center it and justify it in there, and change the alignment that's in there. I also might want to think about adjusting the tracking. I might want to think about adjusting how close the line spacing is, and that's all done in this character box, or here in your properties. It's in the same spot. As soon as I type in text, it shows up in the properties, but I do like to have this panel open. Some other things, you don't have to just fill it in horizontally. There is a text tool so that I can click on this path and have a vertical area type tool. So similarly, I move my mouse to the path and I can type what I want to type, and it's typing it in vertically. So that's a possibility. It works very similarly. And another thing that works very similarly is, I'm going to change this path a minute here. I'm going to make this path go this way. And I'm going to do the vertical type tool. And again, move my mouse to the line. Move it to the other side of the line. So it just depends on what you want, but all the tools work the same way. It's based on a path. And you select, do I want it to be vertical? Do I want it to be horizontal? Do I want to fill in the area? And you select the tool, you click on the path, and then you can type in what you want to type. And then from there, you can use your selection tools to begin to push the type where you want to type it. I can use these tools. This is the beginning point. This is the end point. So I can even drag this up a little bit, so it knows where the middle of my text is a little bit better, but I can make adjustments to the text on the line as well. And that's a little bit more about all of the text tools that you have available to you in Illustrator.